What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nintendo Land, and if you could tell by the title of the video, we are covering something that pretty much every other Nintendo YouTuber is covering if you if you subscribe to anybody else. I mean, this is literally the only thing people are talking about now, mostly because there's nothing to talk about. That's correct, because we are all sitting in this long 2020 drought for a Nintendo Direct, and we're all waiting to see what the heck is going to happen with Nintendo and if they have any big plans for this year, because right now it's seeming like they don't. We are already in February 12th right now with no word or clue about an upcoming future Nintendo Direct. So where does this all begin? So pretty much we all kind of thought for ourselves that at the beginning of each year we'd be having a gigantic Nintendo Direct, and lots of the time it takes place in January, so we all expected one in January. But I think last year's Direct was actually pushed to February, so many people were thinking, okay, we can wait until February, we can wait one more month. Well, we're already on the 12th, and there's still no word about a Direct. Now you may think, why is this so bad? The February's not even halfway over yet, let's just wait. Well, let's talk about exactly how long we've been waiting. Now, this all starts at E3. That's when we got our presentation in June of 2019, followed by a Nintendo Direct in September 4th. Then the Game Awards shows up, and there's no Nintendo anywhere at all. Moving into January, we have a Pokemon Direct, which was exclusively for Pokemon, and then a Smash presentation. Let me remind you, it was not labeled as a Direct, not even on Nintendo's Direct website. It was simply a Sakurai presentation to reveal the final and fifth fighter of DLC Pack 1. So, exactly when is the last time we had a Nintendo Direct? Well, it is a grand total now of 161 days. Now, the good dudes over at GameXplain just recently made a video showcasing all the details of when everything happened with the Directs and the times in between Directs, because they got a chart from someone off of Reddit, I believe. You can go check their video out now and see exactly what's going on with all that in the nitty-gritty details. But it's been 161 days since we've heard from Nintendo any news regarding upcoming games. And let's face it, what do we have in 2020? Well, we got Animal Crossing coming in March, which is a huge title. But then that's really it. Yes, we have a remake of Xenoblade Chronicles, the very first game, but that's really it. Everything else is third-party or smaller titles that are not going to really draw a crowd into buying a Nintendo Switch whatsoever. But let's backtrack for a second. Yes, we have 161 days marked down, but I feel like it feels way more than that, and I think I know why. So pretty much if we go back to E3, if you remember precisely, E3 wasn't that great of 2019. There really wasn't much information. If it wasn't for Smash, it would have been very, very dry. There were no new games. The only new game announced was Breath of the Wild 2, and God knows when that's coming out, because obviously we don't have a Nintendo Direct to tell us. But the only things they showed outside that were some recaps of Luigi's Mansion and The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening remake and stuff like that, but this stuff that we already knew. There were no new content. And of course, the thing that carried on the presentation was the two Smash characters being Hero from Dragon Quest and obviously Banjo and Kazooie. So without them, there really wouldn't have been much of a show. Now let's fast forward to the Nintendo Direct of September 4th. This Direct was literally an E3 Part 2. They tried to capture some stuff that we already knew, and it just laid flat, at least for me. It was a whole bunch of just repeating. More Luigi's Mansion, more Zelda Link's Awakening, more Pokemon. It was the same stuff. Animal Crossing once again was brought up, which, you know, obviously lots of people want to hear about that, but it was just the same stuff. There were, once again, no new announcements, which was mind-blowing to me. The only thing that was new was at the very end was Xenoblade Chronicles Remake, and they ended the show with a remake of a game that already got remade on the new 3DS. So I don't know why they chose to end the show with that. Well, clearly this because they didn't have anything to show. And this is where people are starting to get upset. There was just nothing during E3 or this Nintendo Direct. Now we move on to the Game Awards, and what did Nintendo bring to the table? Maybe a Smash character again? It seems like the general motive of their Directs now is a giant Smash character. It kind of hides the fact that there's no games now, because that's all people want. But nope, not even that. There was nothing. There was no content from Nintendo whatsoever. No Breath of the Wild 2, no big Mario titles, and no Smash character. There was just nothing. So many people thought, well, Nintendo's probably planning their own big presentation to reveal this character because it's somebody special. Let's move on to 2020. Well, in January 2020, we get two Directs, but they're not what we were expecting. The first Direct was a Pokemon one, and I thought it was pretty cool. For somebody that just started getting into Pokemon, I mean, Sword and Shield was my first Pokemon game, and I thought that Direct was pretty dope, man. It showed some DLC for Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I'm like, dude, I would buy that. It looks like a lot of fun. New regions, new areas, 2 whole new packs. over 200 brand new Pokemon, and a whole bunch of legendaries coming as well. I'm just like, man, this is awesome. But of course, Pokemon fans didn't think it was that great, and they were kind of bummed out by the Direct because I guess they wanted some other type of gen remakes. You guys know what I'm talking about if you're Pokemon fans. I'm sorry, I'm making you guys mad. I'm done. I'm moving on. Don't worry. Next, we had a Super Smash Bros. Direct, and everybody was waiting for the biggest character. They were hyping it up even before the presentation started. Sakurai comes on screen. He goes, this character, not even Nintendo knows who it is. They don't even know who I picked, and they don't even know what's going on. And this is going to be somebody that a lot of you guys might not like. A lot of you guys will. It's going to be shocking, and everybody was just like, oh my gosh, Master Chief, Sora, Gino, who is this going to be? And then it came up with Byleth, a first-party character from Fire Emblem, number 8 Fire Emblem character, Byleth. So you can pretty much generally receive how, the audience received that. If you just look at the video now, it's got so many dislikes, it's ridiculous. But yeah, that's kind of how 2020 has gone so far. A Pokemon Direct and a kind of lackluster Smash Direct. Nothing against Byleth herself, I just think it wasn't really the greatest character to end on and have a whole presentation revolved around her. And now we are here, with really no information going into 2020. Lots of the time, there's at least 1 or 2 big games that we know or that are coming later on in the year or towards the summertime, some type of big holiday game even. Well, we don't even have that. The only thing that we're kind of holding on to hope for right now is Breath of the Wild 2, and we're hoping that the development is almost done, or I don't know where it's at. But that's the only thing that we have to hold on to and to clinch right now, at least for 2020, unless they got some big things and they're just not showing it. But right now, doesn't look like the case. We have a couple of rumors so far, though, and I don't like to really go over these, but lots of people are stressing these rumors and saying that they are very reliable. From, I think somebody named Zippo was talking about it, and some other big leaker was retweeting it and talking about how this is very reliable. But anyways, here it is. He said that there's 2 Directs coming in February. He doesn't really know the timing of the Nintendo Direct, but he said there is going to be an Animal Crossing Direct, and it all lines up for February 20th, which is next Thursday. If that's the case, that means we're not getting a Nintendo Direct for another 2 weeks. Yes, this is a long drought, and it looks like it's going to continue to go on. Thankfully, Animal Crossing fans, we get our Nintendo Direct focus for that game, so we can kind of look and see what this game has to offer since it drops in just over a month. But yeah, it looks like we're going to have to wait a long time still to see what type of Nintendo games we're going to be receiving in 2020. And this is just kind of upsetting, just hearing this. So we only got 2 weeks left of February, so we're going to have to make it do. And if next week is, in fact, the Animal Crossing Direct, like I said, it's another 2 weeks of quiet despair for us Nintendo fans. Now, I am sure there's people already down in the comments right now typing how we're all just such babies and we have no patience and we can't wait. Well, 161 days plus another 14 coming up is a lot of patience. And the fact that we have not a single clue of what's coming in 2020 is very depressing. And let me tell you exactly why not having a Direct or even announcing one so far is going to really kind of hurt Nintendo. For one, there's no transparency. Lots of companies often tweet out to their fans about when stuff is coming. Like, for instance, if we're talking about Call of Duty or Fortnite or some type of big multiplayer game, they normally tweet when the next season is and the big updates and the big information from the company on Twitter. And we're really not getting anything from Nintendo. I still don't understand why they choose to do 1 or 2 days before to announce a Direct when they can easily just tell us now. I mean, don't you think it'd have been easier if they would have told us in January, hey, the Direct won't be until February 20th, so you have a little ways to go. I think lots of people would be relaxed knowing when the Direct is. Another thing is there's just no info for the year. Like I said, the only thing we have is Animal Crossing and Xenoblade, and the potential for no big games this year looks like, and that's scary. I'm sure there is some type of big holiday game, but the fact that they're not talking about anything and it's almost March already is kind of scary because normally there's a big gap between announcement and the actual game releasing. And that's what, like I said, is terrifying to me. So another thing that's even scarier is that Nintendo apparently might be skipping E3 as their name is not reserved on the floor list, which normally it is. So it looks like they might be taking the Sony route and skipping. Now, this could be a good thing if they're having their own big presentation, because like I said, the Nintendo Switch presentation was one of my favorite things to watch from Nintendo of all time. They announced so many things, from Mario to Zelda to Splatoon 2 to a new IP. They were just all over the board. And it's something that we really haven't got in any Direct or E3 presentation to date. And I really missed that presentation that we got for the Switch. But people are just becoming uninterested anymore, man. I mean, people just don't care. People are just like, it's whatever, I don't care anymore. And, the fact that Nintendo said that they want to have the Switch last a long time. They said this is going to be one of the longest running consoles because we're just going to continue giving it software. And you can't really keep the console running if there's no games to play. If I'm going out right now to decide a console to buy and I'm looking at everything that's coming out this year, I'm looking, well, Xbox has a brand new console coming out. PlayStation has a brand new console coming out. Xbox has Halo coming out with that brand new console. What does the Switch have for 2020? Well, Animal Crossing, and that's it. So it's not going to apply to everybody, and not everybody's going to buy a Switch just because Animal Crossing is on it. There's really not a lot to pick and choose from, and Nintendo's kind of letting it slip. And I think it's just the best idea to announce your plans early to get people interested and get people buying the console. Be it people saying, Mom, for Christmas of 2020, I want to Switch because of this. For my birthday in 2020, I want to Switch because Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be out, or because Mario Odyssey 2 is coming, or Splatoon 3 is on the way, Mario Kart 9 is coming, and it just, that's the problem right there. And it's just people are going to become more uninterested, and sales are going to dip. If you Google Trend Nintendo right now, they're at a very, very low trough compared to where they normally are on the high peaks. So that's just the reasons why we need a Direct. We need information on what we're going to get, and we need information to see what we're going to play for the year. Well, guys, and that's pretty much about it. I'm not sure when this Direct is going to come, and I don't know how much longer this drought's going to last. And I think I'm pretty much done trying to predict and, make videos as to when this Direct is going to happen. It's just going to happen whenever Nintendo wants it to, and we're just going to have to wait. Unfortunately, it might be longer than sooner, but, eventually we will get our Direct, and maybe they'll surprise us with something bigger than normal. Maybe it's not just a Direct, but, like I said, another big Switch presentation that we've been waiting for. We're just going to have to wait. And yeah, this stinks. This really does stink. We need a Direct. That's all. But thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Let me know how you feel. Do you think that we need a Direct very soon? Are you feeling impatient? Are you like everybody else on the internet? Or are you more patient? Are you more like, it'll come when it comes? Landon, shut up. Just let me know in the comments down below because I just cannot wait. Well, until then, we're really got nothing to really talk about with upcoming games or anything on the channel, and I'll continue to put out whatever we can think of for you guys to watch at the moment, whether it's Smash or Mario Maker still, whatever it is, until we get some type of news of something. But going 161 days strong and counting, this is Nintendo Land, signing out.